Yesterday, Whitney asked one question. What is that? Actually, what we spare and we center confusion. But I will tell that one. Okay. So first of all, I will put it on everything. This morning session completely on a Hyper V part only. Okay. So I will explain very neat one by one. Guys, anytime any problem you face or issue, please ask me immediately or a question wise or repetition wise or you repeat it for me. Okay. So learning is important. You are important. Okay. So think that one. Okay. Um, New window will add something. So yesterday what we discussed, just I will tell those kind of stuff only. Here it is. Hyper-V is a hypervisor, is a virtualization platform. You can create a virtual machine and run virtual machine and manage the virtual machine. Hyper-V is a feature, not an application. Hyper-V is built into Windows as an optional feature, and there is a no Hyper-V download. So if you search in a Google, also immediately it will down how to download a Hyper-V. There are a lot of links are there, but in reality, it is how many links you check it. There is no download link for that one. It is a built-in feature of in a Windows operating system. Plus Hyper-V server is a separate one. Okay. In Windows operating system, so you require a Windows Enterprise, Pro, and Education. Why it is a 10 means 10 is latest, 8 is if you are using 8 you have to upgrade it to 10 compulsory. 64-bit processor compulsory. Secondary level address translation, which is SLAT. It means hardware in a BIOS settings, BIOS or UEFI, compulsory you have to select virtualization enabled. Okay, make sure that that is enabled, and also you have to verify in your system so if it is enabled or not. CPU support for VM monitor mode extension, and minimum 4 GB memory means when you install Windows 10, 2 GB memory is enough, but if you want a Hyper-V feature, compulsory 4 GB RAM is required. Okay, if you want to create multiple virtual machines, so more RAM is required. Okay. Hyper-V role cannot be installed on Windows 10 Home, so no choice at all. BIOS or UEFI virtualization enabled must be there, and also verify whether it is enabled or not. And also you can go to CMD and check it, system info.exe. So we'll get so virtualization enabled, secondary address translation enabled or not. Okay, VM monitor mode extension is there or not. Okay. Hyper-V servers are there from 2008 onwards, so it is always a confusion. So better I will check it once. Hyper-V 2008 or 2 onwards. Okay. Okay. Microsoft give a lot of information, so be careful. But when you're reading, just go through once. Okay. Yeah, someone is giving, not that one. So Hyper-V not supporting it is I am telling Hyper-V server 2008. Okay, Hyper-V server 2008 R2 is there. Okay, so 1.5 GB only if you want to go with this kind of stuff. Okay, so I will change my text here. 2008 R2. That is service pack 1 is given, but it's okay. That's otherwise you can add as P1 service pack 1. Okay, so it is um, direct Hyper-V server. Okay, here it is. I am going to paint. See guys, here it is. Like our VMware vSphere. vSphere is a hypervisor platform, right? So this is my PC. Okay, so I have my hardware. So this is my server, for example. Server means a computer host. You can say computer or a host. This is my host. In this one, I will install directly Hyper-V server. It is a core Hyper-V server, and you don't get any. You will get a very basic user interface only, not as a our Windows 10 or a server user interface. You don't get anything. Just you will get a only basic interface like a admin login, firewall management, remote access management, IP address checking. So like that, you will get a basic access only. So how to create a virtual machine in this particular host through remote machines. Again, remote machines. In the remote machines, you can use two things. One is Hyper-V Manager. One is Hyper-V Manager. Another one is PowerShell. PowerShell is a Microsoft command line tool, one of the command line tool. Normally, we got a Windows command line tool. PowerShell is also there from 2003 onwards. Okay, so powerful administrative command line tools. We can use scripting kind of stuff also. So either you can use command line tool like a PowerShell or a Hyper-V manager. So then we can connect it to this remote PC, and we can manage means create, run, manage the virtual machines. Means you create a virtual machine here, and these virtual machines are running here only. The virtual machine is running here only, but we are accessing from remotely. This is a Hyper-V server, okay, which is introduced in 2008 or 2, not 2008. Okay, but along with the operating system also we are getting. Guys, understand this point. Hyper-V server. Do you understand what is Hyper-V server? It's a simply you have a server. You create. You have a machine, physical machine. In that one, you install a Hyper-V server, just like how you install operating system. You install like that only, and we manage through remote system, means through network. We can connect it to our Hyper-V server, and we create a virtual machine and manage the virtual machines. Understand that point or not? Okay.
Yeah, we got it.
Okay. So here it is. One more example, another type of Hyper-Vs. Hyper-V, core Hyper-V, this is, and another one is with your operating system, means Windows operating system, just like your Windows servers or desktop operating system. I given a list there in another place. Okay, just like I given a list of operating system support in a Windows Server operating system from 2008, 64, 2008 R2, 2012, 2012 R2, 2016, 2019. Of course, 22 is also released. It's going to be released. Only preview is released. You have to I have to check it. If anybody is interested in 2012, sorry, 2022. So we'll download and install one day. Okay, so you have to give some time for it. Okay. Next one is Windows desktop operating system like Windows 8, 8.1, Windows 10, Pro and Enterprise 64-bit. So you will get a along with your operating system, you'll get a Hyper-V feature. Means you have Windows operating system, that operating system plus Hyper-V as a feature. Hyper-V as a feature you will get it. So what is this? What is the advantage of this Hyper-V along with your operating system? What is the advantage? I don't require any third-party applications. I don't require any third-party application to run my guest operating system. What is guest operating system? Operating system running in the virtual machine is called guest operating system. So always remember that one. So what is guest OS? Means OS running or installed in virtual machine is called guest operating systems. Okay, we can run different type of guest operating systems in your physical machine with the help of Hyper-V in a user desktop or a server also. Of course, mine is a Windows 10, so I need some application or a Hyper-V feature to create a virtual machine. So what is the use for a servers? Already I told this story in a starting only. Someone from your batch only. Bah. Okay, so Pratik is login. No problem. Only thing is you have to attendance should be given here. That's it. Okay, guys. Here it is. Look at here. Physical server cost already I shown. So cost is very high cost. But your utilization of a server. What to do with the server, guys? Anyone? Windows server. What is the use of Windows server normally? Hmm? What is the use of Windows server? Group of OSs. Okay. Tell me any answer first of all. Data storage. Okay. Good. What is the use of Windows server? What are the services of Windows server? What are the services from Windows server? You installed Windows server, right? Which purpose? Last time.
DHCP, AD.
Very good. DHCP, DNS, additional features of security and software extra. Okay. Right. So use DHCP services. You use it. DNS server is it. Service. Yeah. Host websites. IIS service is there, right? IIS means Internet Information Service. Active Directory. remote user authentication. Users you have, so user authentication. Okay, where is this? Okay, user authentication we can able to get it. um, like Active Directory services, ADRMS, remote right management system, WDS, deployment services, um, VPN services, remote access services, remote desktop services, update services, like a server for a multiple services we can give. But generally, we don't use Windows servers for more than two services, either one service or a two service. For example, Active Directory and DNS. Okay, or maybe DHCP and WDS, like that. So either one service or two services, not a three four services. We don't use it. Like in our lab, we don't have a big infrastructure for multiple machines. We can't able to create it, but so then we use multiple services in single machine only, like Active Directory, DNS, uh, DHCP, print servers, like that we installed it. But in a Windows servers we don't use in a real time, so we don't use services on a single physical server. We don't use multiple services availability is there, but only one or two services per a server. So what happen in generally, if you use more services, server become weak, more demand on it, server become more busy for a multiple services. So I use one or two, so then happily it will run, but we consumes only 10% of server resources. You have a multi-core processor, 10 core processor is there, okay, like Xeon processor, maybe 64 GB RAM is there, 1 terabyte or 2 terabyte of disk space is there, but you are using 10% of your total resource utilization. Now, I want to utilize these services without bothering my operating system and operating system related services, without trusting on operating system and operating system services. Okay, understand that point. You have a operating system and it run some services. For example, Active Directory and DNS is running. Now problem is I cannot install more services. For example, I want a web server. If I install in this one, it trusts on my operating system and my operating system services also. So what I do, I will use Hyper-V and create a virtual machine, and then I use this for a web services purpose. And I create another virtual machine for another service purpose, or maybe another web server purpose. Multiple web servers we can able to create it. Got it? So like we can utilize the maximum, like a 75 to 80% of utilization will be increases in the single server. It means physically certain services are running, but in virtual machine also you can run multiple services. Why not more than 80%? Then system will be stopped. Okay, so do not utilize more than 80% like that. Okay, so resource utilization will improve. So then cost effect on a physical servers will be reduced. You need to buy multiple physical machines for creating different type of servers. So and in a virtual machine we can install different type of guest operating system, Linux, Windows, old operating system, new operating system. We can run those kind of applications also. So it means hardware flexibility is more here. So you need to buy a particular kind of hardware here. So you can install any operating system and you can access that operating system here. That's why in Windows servers and as well as a Windows desktop, Hyper-V is introduced. But Hyper-V is not there in our home editions and Windows Server Essentials. Okay, so along with your operating system, so you will get a Hyper-V future. Earlier days, before Hyper-V is introduced, earlier days Microsoft used virtual PCs and virtual servers for running a guest operating systems. Now it is remote. Now we no longer required and as well as not there in a new type of operating system like Windows 8 onwards. Hyper virtual PCs and virtual servers are won't work. And yesterday we discussed about Windows Server Standard Edition, Enterprise. Data Center Edition. Windows Server having a mainly three editions: Standard, Data Center, Essentials. Essentials. Essentials support only 25 users. Only 25 users. It don't join to the domain. So limited number of roles and features are there. Okay, limited number of roles and features are there in a essential. Standard and data center support all features and all roles, means both are same operating system only difference between standard edition and data center edition is per license you will get a two virtual machine, means at a time you can run two virtual machines only. For example, you created a four virtual machine, but you can run two virtual machines per license. Okay, if you want more virtual machines you have to buy virtual machine license extra. Understand? Microsoft, you can create a unlimited virtual machines in a data center, but okay, but you can run, but what happening here, but you can run 1024 virtual machines at a time per core license, per core license. Okay, so both are support 640 CPU core and this one. There is a no difference in 2012, 2016 and 2019. These differences are same only for all three machines. Okay. Next, how to that's it. Okay. While installation, I will tell another things. So this is about your basic information of Hyper-V, which is I told yesterday. Maybe you understand or not yesterday, I don't know. So no one is telling anything. Guys, do you understand now this, at least this basic information? Are you in a still confusion mode? Hosted website, good answer that is. Actually, ADDS, very good. Both are there. Have to go to both links and have to check what are the chat messages. Anyone, please tell me. Do you understand? Today, Hyper-V as a single physical machine, install Hyper-V and we can access. Another side, along with your operating system, Hyper-V feature. And what is the advantage of Hyper-V feature with your Windows servers or Windows 10 desktop operating systems? Okay. So this is my Windows server, which is we updated yesterday, and it take lot of time. I finally closed it and open, and then it is working. And we installed a Windows Admin Center also, but I will tell about that one later. So you have a 4 GB RAM, two processors, and I have three disk are there. In this, this is the operating system disk. This is a extra disk, 100 GB disk I added, and four NICs are there. So first NIC is a VMnet one, means it's a host only for my laptop to virtual machine communication. and these are VMnet zeros for a internet connection, means physical network access also there. So I have three NICs are there. So I will tell you why I added multiple NICs. One is I want to show you what is NIC teaming in a Windows servers. Second one is external switches purpose. Okay. So I'm powering on this virtual machine. Let it on, and I will also show you how to install a Hyper-V feature. It will restart two times minimum. Okay. So when we install a Hyper-V, um, okay, so in Windows Server, means all are same from 2012 onwards. Installation of Hyper-V is the same thing, and already I told some conditions. Compulsory 64-bit, 2008 64, 2008 R2, 2012, 2016, 2019. All these things are 64-bit machines only. Okay. Usually Hyper-V are two parts. One is platform and Hyper-V manager. Okay, Hyper-V platform is there, Hyper-V manager. What is this platform? Platform means to install a platform, compulsory 64-bit machine is required, and compulsory I will write in down. If you are using a Windows 10 like that, it is split into two parts. But server is a only single one. But what is this Hyper-V platform? Conditions are compulsory 64-bit. If in case if you are using Windows 8 or Windows 10, compulsory 64-bit is compulsory. Next, virtualization must be enabled. Compulsory, these two things must be there. And of course, professional or enterprise of a Windows 10 or Windows 8 or 8.1 is compulsory. Okay, to install a platform. It meaning is, I will tell a meaning. So, for example, you have a Windows 10 home. It means no Hyper-V. You have a Windows 10 Pro or a Enterprise. So, if you have a 64-bit and secondary level address translation, that is virtualization enabled. Virtualization enabled, because again, if I write again, it is big text. If both are there, so you can install platform and manager also. Okay. For example, if you have a Windows 10 Pro or Enterprise, for example, you have a 32-bit or no virtualization enabled. It's a 64-bit, no virtualization enabled, or 32-bit, definitely no virtualization enabled. Means you can install only manager. Okay. So I will tell you what is this platform. Platform is give you can able to create and run virtual machines in your PC. Okay, in in same PC, in PC. Okay, run VMs. That's it enough. Manager use it to manage VMs. Manage Hyper-V and VMs. We can able to manage of same PC Same system or remote. What is this? As I said in a earlier diagram here in this one, so we can access remotely. I said we can access remotely, right? So this Hyper-V manager is used to connect, if in case in my PC hypervisor platform is there, so I can manage mine. And also so I will put here, and also remote. Okay, remote hypervisors. Okay, remote servers or a remote Hyper-V or a remote servers, like that. Okay, um, we can add those kind of stuff. Okay, so this Hyper-V manager, I can manage my own virtual machines in my Hyper-V, or I can manage my virtual machines running or a Hyper-V in the remote basis also. Okay, like, yeah, here it is open. Only Windows Admin Center is installed, but I will log in and I will show you. Actually, my planning is to install a domain controller and then install a Hyper-V. Um, at present, not required. I use directly because I'm not going any live migration kind of stuff. Okay. Once I started installation, I will tell you what are the Hyper-V features, what we can able to do with the Hyper-V feature, and I will explain it. It is a little bit lengthy, but okay. So 79 days evolution. If in case, guys, if you want to do this kind of stuff, already I told there is a link. Already I created a how to, in any of my things, like how to install a Windows servers 16 or 19, both are same. Maybe in a future wise there is a one or two changes, but both are same. Okay, so no need to worry about, so sir, we have a different name or different kind of stuff, so don't worry. So yesterday we changed the computer name, and also I assigned two IP addresses here. One is for like this and like this. So can you see remote management enabled means remotely we can manage these PCs. Okay, if luckily if no updates today, then it is very faster, it will work. Anybody can guide me how to install um, a role? Okay, I'm telling. Server manager, manage roles and features, roles and features. Next, role based or future based installation. Next, I don't have a server pool, I have only single server here. Next, okay. If I want Active Directory, domain services, I will select this one. At presently I'm not. This is a new one. Device health uh, attestation, host guard services. Okay, host guard services, and also for Hyper-V, there is a few services are there. We'll see that. So I selected Hyper-V here. Okay, so so this is Hyper-V. Just click on Hyper-V, read about Hyper-V description, and check mark. Um, once you do check mark, automatically this pop-up will come up. Click on add features. Click on add features compulsory. So in a features, it will add Hyper-V module for a PowerShell, Hyper-V GUI management tool. Okay, this is the feature. Add feature. On above, we need to install ESXi or a vCenter above. No, 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 no. That's a completely different. That is different. This is different. Okay. So Hyper-V, and here some features already added here. So by default check marks are there. You can see. Okay, and there is a new things also there related to the virtualization. One is like a containers, like a Docker type container virtualization type. Don't check it, just look at that one. Host guard, Hyper-V support. Host guard garden provide a feature necessary on Hyper-V server to provision shielded virtual machines. This is the feature introduced in 2016. Okay, it is not there in 2012. Shielded virtual machines. Okay, directly it is providing shielded virtual machine on it. If you install this one, so you will get a feature like a shielded virtual machine kind of stuff. Multipath IO. So remember this one also. So that is not belongs to that one. Network virtualization is provide overlay of virtual network on a same physical network. Okay, we will add it later, or maybe we'll check it later, that one. So identity, web dev redirector, vm shield, vm shielding tool for fabric management, provide shielded virtual machine utilize that are used to fabric management solution should be installed on fabric management server. We don't have any fabric management server here. Okay. So okay, what is this shielded VMs means? Any attack on your physical machine, so it possible that it is an attack on your virtual machine also. So this shielding will protect your virtual machines from external attacks or attacks from your physical machine or external networks. That is a shielded virtual machines. So to get a shielded virtual machines, so this is for fabric management, but actually we need this thing where it is host garden Hyper-V support. So that is required for a shielding purpose. And I will go to the role part again. Host gardening services. This is required. Host gardening services for a protecting your PCs. In some places earlier the name is isolation. I didn't find that name. It's okay. Okay guys, that's it. Hyper-V select next. I didn't select those options, just I'm going next only. And it is showing two ethernets or multiple ethernets here. Which ethernet you want to connect, make it as a external one, but I'm not doing anything, just I'm not checking anything. This is for a migration purpose. You want to migrate, allow this server to send and receive live migration of virtual machine. Remember, live migration, live migration. And it is also telling what is the live migration. We'll go back once. Yeah, here it is.
We cannot check multiple things, right? Like we have to install one by one.
One second, what happened?
So in this fix, we can't select multiple, right? DHCP server and DNS at a time.
Don't select multiple things at a time. Okay.
So
For example,
if we attempt to check what happened.
it become like a very slow, and you have to select this one,
Okay.
and tomorrow I have to take the class. Like yesterday what happened, it's like that only. It's become very slow. Don't select all the multiple roles at a time. one or two, okay. For example,
Okay, sir.
relevant things are there, like DHCP, WDS. Both are related services. Okay. Uh, or a web server and some web server related things like a work folder and a web server. Like you want to install a work folder, this is a work folder and web server. Okay, you can select both the things at a time. One or two, like we can, remote access network policy, that is okay, but don't select four five
Okay,
things
sir.
at a time. Okay, so this is
Yeah.
Hyper-V. Okay, so take a print screens on it. Futures next. Um, Next one, select this one for a live migration. You can select anything, both the things are there. Kerberos, if you have a domain controller, then you will get a Kerberos kind of stuff. This is credential security support, means less secure, but it is a Windows authentication, not Active Directory authentication. There's a two differences there: Active Directory authentication and Windows authentication. I'm using this one first. This is a location of default location of your virtual hard disk and virtual machines. Virtual hard disk and virtual machine. These are the default location. So I'm not changing anything. Just I'm going next only. Okay. I'm not changing. So later I will change it in the settings. Next, this role required a restart compulsory. This role compulsory restart is required. Select this one and click yes. Okay, and click yes and install now. Okay, so click yes, click install. Okay, let it install. It will take time. Maybe it will take 10-15 minutes max. Okay, if no other issues are there. Okay, good question. When I was in a different class, means earlier when I'm teaching these Windows servers, some people will absent for 2-3 days. Specifically one guy is there, I forget his name. And if people are regular people, means regular class is going on, people absent, they go for hometowns and they will come whenever they want it. That kind of people are there also, because that is institute, right? So here we have a fear of exam selection job, immediate kind of stuff, right? There we pay a fee, the trainer will train anytime, that kind of stuff. Okay, so what happened that guy, I said take a one machine, create a one virtual machine and start install um, Active Directory, start do practice. What are the last class you done, first do practice first, so then I will tell you the current class. Then what he done, so he selected Active Directory, DHCP, DNS, and some more two more roles are selected, whatever he remember the role names, just he selected him everything. And it took almost like a 1 hour, sir, he said. It is not going on. It took almost 1 hour. I said, what happened? So then he selected so many things. I scold him and nothing. Okay. Actually, you ask very good question, because that's the clarification required. Multiple services never be selected at a time, and better not to install. Not more than two services don't install in a single server. How much server, big server you have taken? Okay. Good. And I got one question, that is, what is this? Um, somewhere. So where I seen that question, also I will answer first. Um, Someone asked me, on above we need to install SXA or VM vCenter, right? Above Hyper V. No, 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 no. Okay. So even it is not a wrong question. That is also good because it's a good question. It is installing, so that's why I am doing all these things. So here it is. Um, this is a machine, computer. Okay, a computer machine or a server hardware machine. Okay, if you install hypervisor as a vSphere, okay, if you install vSphere in this physical machine, you can create your virtual machines. That's it. That's a separate one. Okay, and this is your Hyper-V. Okay, if you are install Hyper-V, you can create a virtual machines here. This is another server, another machine. Okay, like that. So what is vCenter? vCenter is a little bit different one. vCenter is little bit different. Like see, I have a multiple vSpheres are there. Okay, I have a multiple vSpheres are there. So because I don't want to mix up the topics, that's why I put a borderline. And I have a multiple vSpheres are there. Each vSphere I cannot administrate by one login. So I need a centralized machine which is installed with either I maybe I given a confusion my side also, maybe vCenter server. It is not a operating system. It is not a operating system. It is a vCenter server is a application. vSphere is a platform, or we can say it's a kind of operating system also. Okay, directly installed in physical machine. But vCenter we cannot install directly in a physical machine. We have to install on some operating system. vCenter is nothing but a application. Where we install application on operating system only we can install. So this physical machine should have some operating system. So OS like Windows servers we can install, on Windows servers we can install, or Linux machines we can install. Last time I tried to show you that one, it is based on a Linux machine. It is there. It is a virtual appliances. I took a virtual appliance, not application. Actually, I installed 5.5 application application on a Windows servers. Okay, so vCenter server is an application installed on a operating system in a particular machine's operating system. Win server are a like this. So what is the use of this one? So it is a centralized administration type. So user can connect vCenter. User connects vCenter server application and manages multiple vSpace and other things also there, other features also there. So those are all features we can able to administrate. So this is separate one. Okay guys, vSphere is a physical machine, not application. vSphere is not a application. vCenter is application. vSphere actually provide hypervisor platform to create a virtual machines in the physical machine, multiple virtual machines in the physical machines. vCenter is an application to connect multiple vSpheres and manage the vSpheres, monitor the vSpheres, um, create a high availability services, DRS services, DRS kind of services, storage management like a SAN NAS kind of stuff. Okay, SAN NAS, iSCSI storage management. We can able to manage with a single interface. So that is your vCenter. Hyper-V is a Microsoft product. This is VMware product. This is belongs to VMware organization. This is belongs to hypervisor. Hyper-V is belongs to Microsoft.
What is ESXi, sir?
ESXi is a other name of vSphere. Okay,
Okay.
they both are same. Other name, different name. 7 onwards, they are not using ESXi 7. But if you are going to like this, you can go ESXi, for example, 6 end of life download. So you can see here it is vSphere hypervisor, hypervisor, vSphere hypervisor or ESXi. Both are same. Maximum from VMware also giving lot of information from their own websites also, but it is become very slow now. It is giving, but actually we have to ask question. Very good question. What is difference between vSphere? Maybe someone will ask question, someone will tell an answer, right? And ESXi, see anything? vSphere is a product suite. ESXi is a hypervisor installed on a physical machine. So there are like it is a package type and this one, but both are same. vSphere client is a web client type, like currently it is web client they are using. Use it to access ESXi server. Okay. So almost both are same. So very good question. Okay. This. So Microsoft product is Hyper-V as a hypervisor, and this is also having some architecture. But um, if you understand this difference between vCenter, vSphere, and ESXi, that is important here. So it is installed and restarted. Yeah, it is restarted also. Okay. No icons, nothing. Um, just we have to wait just 2 minutes. Then it will open this thing. What we say, server manager will open. We'll wait. So I told about manager, right? Manager to connect um, Hyper-V servers. Okay, so Hyper-V manager connect Hyper-V server. It does not mean a really server. It can be in any Hyper-V machine in the network. So yeah, it is installed. Why it is showing installation started? Yeah, it will be finishing. It will shows. Okay. Actually, Hyper-V restart two times. Not like this. Immediately two times it will restart. I didn't see in the screen. I showing some other thing. I thought it will take lot of time. Let it go on. So again, it will ask for a close. Then we'll close it. Hyper-V having a certain features. One is shielding. Okay. So virtualization shielding. It is what is shielding means. Shielded virtual machines like that. Shielded virtual machines introduced in 2016. Okay. 2016 only it is introduced. Shielded virtual machines means we can protect our virtual machines from external attacks, like a malware protection kind of stuff is there, no? So it will we can able to protect it. Of course, few settings before that one we have to do it. So that is a one new feature. Next one is nested virtualization. Okay, nested virtualization. What is nested virtualization? We can create another virtual machine inside your virtual machine. In a Hyper-V, we create a virtual machine, and um, you can create a sorry. You have a virtual machine in the Hyper-V. Inside that virtual machine, we create another virtual machine. So that is called a nested virtualization. Okay. For example, on your Hyper-V, you created a virtual machine one. So um, inside inside of VM1, we can create VM other VM other virtual machine. So what I say it is in your PC and or in your system main system. So VM1 is created, and in okay. So maybe understand this sentence. Okay, that is called a nested virtual machine. Shielded virtual machine means to protect VMs from attacks. Okay, these are our main two features, and of course there is a few more features are there. So we'll see that one also. Is it finished? Yeah, installation succeeded. Close it. Now go to tools. So in a tools, you can find Hyper-V Manager here. Okay, Hyper-V Manager, or you can go to Start menu, go to Windows Administrative Tools. Scroll down, you can find Hyper-V Manager. So what I'm going to do is I right click on this Hyper-V Manager, and I put a pin to start. So then I got here, and also I go to more, pin to taskbar, pin to taskbar. So then I got it here. So I don't need to worry about all this kind of stuff. Simply I will minimize, and I will go to Hyper-V. Okay. If you see in this one, so no drawing tools are there. So this is a Hyper-V manager. This is manager. This part is manager. Second one is my server, my local server. When I select the Hyper-V manager, see the right hand side, connect to server. If you want to connect it to remote server, just click on a connect to server. Another computer, give the name or a IP address, and if in case it is asking for a username and password, give their server username and password. Click OK. Then we can able to connect remote servers, remote hypervisors. We can able to connect it. This is my server, my computer name, right? So this is my computer name, and you can see here it is no virtual machines are running. Right side you can see action menu, new virtual machines, hard disk, floppy disk. We can create it. You can import the virtual machines from remote location or from hard disk. Okay, that I will tell. VM Hyper-V settings, switch manager, SAN manager, edit disk, impact inspect disk, stop services, remove service server, and refresh. So these are options are there. So we can see running virtual machines here, and check the virtual machines checkpoints here, and details. Add or remove columns, same options are there. Nothing is here. Okay, so this is your Hyper-V. This is a Hyper-V settings. So first of all, we should go to the settings. I will show you the settings. Okay, this is a virtual hard disk. By default, where your virtual hard disk should be stored. By default, where your virtual hard disk should store. By default, it is showing C users public documents Hyper-V and virtual hard disk folder. It is showing by default. Okay, C programs Microsoft Windows Hyper-V. In this folder, virtual machine configuration files will be stored. Okay, see here it is. This is a virtual machine. Okay, so this is the virtual machine. Here it is, virtual machine. Here, a virtual machine means this is, for example, my laptop. My laptop processor means processor, RAM, the circuit like chipsets are located on my motherboard. But where is the data stores? My operating system, applications, and data stores in hard disk, right? Motherboard contains my chip kind of stuff. All CPU, RAM, everything is stored there only, right? RAM, ROM, BIOS kind of stuff on motherboard. But operating system, applications, and data stores in hard disk, right? For any PC. So motherboard means actually your computational devices, like you have a CPU, you have a RAM, you have a ROM, you have a chipset. Okay, all other parts are there on this one only. So virtual machine will maintain in a separate way. So this is a hard disk to store the operating system application data in the virtual machines stored in a hard disk. And this is your machine configuration as a file. This is machine configuration as a file, it is shows. Okay, this is your virtual machines configuration file in the form of file. What is virtualization? Actually, software defined. Okay, virtually no virtual physical CPU won't be there now. So physical CPU is physical CPU. For virtual machine, CPU is a virtual CPU, so it will define in a software wise only. Software defined infrastructure as software defined hardware for virtual machine in the VM configuration file. That is called a virtual machine file. Next one is data should be stored in some place that will be stored in your hard disk, right? That will be stored in your virtual hard disk. That will be stored in a virtual hard disk or a virtual disk. Any name you can put it. Okay. So for virtual machine, virtual hard disk, in the virtual hard disk, operating system application data stores and information of your machine information stores in this VM virtual machine file in your physical location. It stores in physical location. Okay, both are stores in a physical location, physical machine only, physical data store location only. It will store in physical hard disk only. Both are with there. Where it stores any physical storage location, central location or anything. Okay, so that is a location of this one. Okay, here we can change this one by changing few settings like that. I have a C drive, but I don't have a D or E drive extra. You can see. Okay, so I have a C drive 142 GB free. You can use your C drive to store directly in a one single location. Okay, like how I store my VMware virtual machines in a single location, like we can put it. Or you can use this one like a documents, no documents here, like go to users, program data. Okay, why it is not showing here? Maybe it is in a hidden. This is app data. Yeah, C program data. um, Microsoft app we also came here. No, that's just a folders only, don't worry about it. So where is the location of this one? Home data Microsoft Windows Hyper-V. So go to Windows, uh, Hyper-V. See, it is located in a different, see, like that, like this. The location is very difficult to find it. Okay, so this is a virtual machine folder. No machines are there. Okay, second one is hard disk. The disk is storing user public documents, Hyper-V virtual hard disk. So you can see users, instead of your username it is storing in a public. Okay, public documents Hyper-V. So this is the default hard disk location. For example, you are using in your single machine, no need of migrating kind of stuff. You can easily stores in a any single location, like you can put a E drive like that also you can able to create it. Guys, I want, this is a 142 GB space is there. I need a 100 GB from it. 142 is there now, so then I will create something 60 GB. One I given 160 GB. Yeah, how to create a total disk space is 160, free space is 142. I want only 60 GB from C drive. How to get it?
Disk partition.
Very good. Disk mgmt.msc So I'm going to disk management. Yeah, I have another disk also there. Disk 0. No, Colin. So I'm going to C drive, shrink volume. Today is Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Wow. Okay. So I want a 60 GB, right? So 61440 is a 60 GB string. Just I want a 60 GB space here. So 60 GB, new simple volume. That's it. You already know. That's why I just do next. So 60 GB E drive. Okay. It is created. Now you can see E drive 60 GB. Actually, you should give more. Now what I'm doing is virtual hard disk. C is there now, so I'll change C to E, and also I will remove all these things. That's it. Now you can see E colon Hyper V virtual hard disk. So in a E colon Hyper V folder will be created, and inside virtual hard disk files will be created. In virtual machines also same thing. I put a E drive, then I'll remove these things. Simply it will show Hyper V here directly. So E colon Hyper V, common folder for both the things. Machine stores here, disk stores here. Okay, look at that one. Next setting is NUMA spanning. You can configure Hyper-V to allow virtual machine to span non-uniform memory architecture mode. Physical computer has a node, it's selected, physical something is given. So what is the use of this allowing NUMA means non-uniform memory architecture is, you can read it from here, can help you to run more virtual machines at the same time. It is also provide virtual machines with a more memory than what is available on a single NUMA node. So however, use of this setting may decrease overall performance. He given advantage plus as other disadvantages. Okay, NUMA kind of stuff. Okay. Next one is live migration. So I will add like a NUMA live migration. What is this live migration? What is live migration is here. Look at this one. Okay, look at this part. Okay, this is your physical machine, one physical machine. This is another physical machine. Okay, this is one physical machine. This is another physical machine. There are in a network. There are in a network. Okay, so For example, I put a names like a host 1, both are installed with a Hyper-V, host 2, and I'm running a virtual machine. I'm running a virtual machine. Okay, now I got some issue. So same thing, right? What is the issue? Physical machine is down. Maybe I want to some do some upgradation. So if physical machine is busy or maybe it is down, obviously virtual machine is also down, right? So I can migrate from here to here. Okay, so some upgradation is there. How to upgrade RAM? Maybe I want to change my some hardware related one, or maybe software related one. So generally, there is a when we got a restart kind of stuff, the machine is usually performance is low on that time. Like, or maybe I taking backup. Okay, so what I do, I can migrate the virtual machines from one place to another place, another host directly without shutting down the virtual machine. So what is this? Live migration. So migrate or move virtual machine from one host to other host without shut down VM. Okay, without shutting down the virtual machine, we can migrate from one machine to another machine. So we already discussed vMotion, right? Like a vSphere vMotion, same thing only. Okay, if you enable it, so you can migrate from your host to other host and other host to our host also. How many migrations simultaneously is there? So by default it is two. You can increase it if in case, depends upon your infrastructure and all. Okay, simultaneous live migrations. And also we can specify a particular IP address or a particular network on it. Okay, okay, so you can use a particular IP address for live migration. It means you have a lot of connections. Instead of going with a particular connection, so you have to agree with the one network connection, this network connection only for live migration purpose, others for different purposes, but only live migration one dedicated IP network, like that also we can specify here. Or you can use or any available network for live migration, and it is giving something like you must log off log on again if you to use the selection live migration authentication protocol to change live migration authentication plan, expand live migration page and select a advanced future page. So you can select it, advanced features, authentication protocols. You can use like a local authentication or a centralized authentication like a Kerberos. Performance options like a TCP/IP, compression, SMB. Which one you want to use it? SMB, server message block. Okay, so then you can use that one for a migrating machines, or you want to use a TCP, or you want to compress the machine and send it like that. Okay, so you have to select these options in a live migration. I'm going to advanced features also. You can do this practically also, like at least first options. This is for storage migration. Guys, already I told, I keep this one. Migrating virtual machine means the running environment. So the environment of a virtual machine, we can able to migrate it. but you want to migrate the storage. For example, if in case the virtual machines, virtual hard disk is there, no, virtual hard disk, the virtual hard disk is there in a physical location of the host one. You want to migrate this virtual hard disk from one location to another location, or from physical machine to centralized storage. Okay, physical machine to, initially you created under physical machine, now you want to migrate it to a centralized storage like a SAN kind of stuff, the storage migration. Then what are the conditions? You can see storage migration by default to okay, hard disk you want to store. Live migration for a virtual machine settings, machine runtime environment, runtime only. But storage migration means virtual hard disk. You want to migrate from one physical location to another physical location, either one host to another host, or a host to central location. I will give you a break. Don't worry. Now it is okay. Enhanced session mode policy. Enhanced session mode policy. You can configure Hyper-V to allow enhanced session connection to virtual machine running on the server. Allow enhanced session mode. Enhanced session mode allow redirection of local device and resources from computer running virtual machine connection. Mode requires support guest operating system. Many required additional configuration inside a virtual machine. Redirect capabilities may differ according to virtual machine. Existing virtual machine session may use restarted if this setting is changed. Okay. So what is this enhanced session mode means? The resources sharing between it means redirection of local devices and resource from computers running virtual machine setting. It means how to tell. Normally enhanced mode means uh, direct connection from your physical machine to virtual machine. The resources both share same kind of capabilities. Okay. Replication configuration. This is live migration. This is replication. When you see the enable this computer as a replica server. Okay, what is this replica server? You can see HTTP protocol. Okay, authorized and storage. You can see here it is like this. Replication configuration. You can see HTTP, HTTPS kind of stuff. So what is this replication configuration? You can take a backup of a PC, right? So you have a machine, means physical machine. Virtual machines are running in physical machine. You can take a backup. You can take a backup of virtual machines, right? And where you storing this backup stores in a same physical location. Physical means I have an office. In my office only some other device, not in a same PC, but other devices I store. For example, I'm in a Pune. I have a data center running virtual machines in the data center. So I took a backup. I store in a some tape drives are like that. But where is the actual machine and storage is located? In my physical location only. Okay, so anything in a geographical manner, any geographical issues are occur, so we cannot both actual data and backup data will be damaged. Just it is a, there is a story which is told by KCR only, Telangana chief minister. Okay, first data centers in India, maybe in a different locations also there, But in Hyderabad now currently in a cyber towers. So earlier in a 90 2 or 94 time 94 96 time only, before Chandrababu Naidu 92 93 94 time only, IBM want to put their geo replication data centers in a Hyderabad. Actually, India is developed in a IT. The first thing is that data centers, because in America they cannot predict lot of things like floods are very high. When you hear like a Sandy Tufan kind of stuff, so a lot of things will be happen, like mostly like Tufan kind of stuff, uh, tornadoes tornadoes. Maybe if you see any movies in English like a Texas tornadoes, okay, like that, tornadoes kind of. So the physical locations can be damaged in their places. So actual data and other backup data can be damaged. So what they do, so they replicate their data into some different geographical location, replicate into some different geographical locations. Okay, so like if you want to configure that one here, so we can put it replicate into some different geographical location, or a remote servers you can able to give that information here. Okay, we don't require this. Keyboard related configuration: use physical computer, use on a virtual machine, use virtual machine only when running full screen, like that it is there. And also for keyboard combination is given his alt tab, mouse release key, so alt control left arrow for a mouse release. Okay, enhanced mode session is given, is also policy. It is, if you select this one, it is enabled. And if it is, but it depends upon is a purely local machine only, so sorry, virtual machine and your physical machine compatibility. Hello. Yeah, sorry. Okay, this is a reset. We can clear all check boxes, like you are change some settings and all. Now you don't want, you want to go with the default one, just reset the click box. Now I'm click on apply, and then let apply changes, and then click OK. Error applying live migrations, fail to modify settings. Okay, now so these settings are unable to modify. Okay, no problem. Guys, any changes occur? Yeah, oh sorry, this won't happen. So unselect live migration. Okay, click OK. Now it is working. Always apply OK. Any errors are there, immediately it will throw. So these are the settings. Next I will show you how to create a virtual switch, and different type of virtual switches I will tell you. Then how to create a virtual machine, one virtual machine will create it. To create a virtual machine and to run a virtual machine, what we need, we need a ISO image is there, right? So first of all, what I'm going to do is, first I am going to upload virtual machine, means operating system image. I select server only here. You can install Windows 10 or a Linux or anything. Okay, you can choose anything, but I'm going to choose Windows server. Yeah, this is the my Windows server now. So I am copying it. So I will try to paste here. Yeah, it is pasting. It will take time. So meanwhile, so we'll take a break and